language. You speak English, my app identifies the English, identifies the sign, and displays it on my screen. You don't have to have the app, only I need to have the app. And this is how you can answer or receive a phone without speaking. Maybe we understood this wrong, but I don't think you need to speak to actually pick up a phone. You can correct us on that. How might you tell the time without looking at a clock? We love this one. Accessibility features, right? Like Siri, maybe, with an interactive app that reads out the time whenever asked or prompted. Siri, what is the time? The time is 7:01. Simple as that. Or maybe like if you have a bracelet or a band, just tap it and it tells you the time, whichever time it may be. I know some of you came up with the same ideas, that's why we wanted to go fast. Number 4, how could you know how could you know when to cross the road safely without being able to see? This is a real challenge because the problem is not actually getting across the road, it's when to know when it's safe to actually cross the road, right? So using traffic lights that have a guiding sound system. You can have like you know how lasers work, right? You break them, it sends like a sensor or like a notification that the laser or light has been broken. So it might alert you. When you're trying to cross and it's still at red, it will like give you a warning sound. Like maybe, hello, you're about to get hit by a car, or hey, stop, or something like that. Just basically a sound system that will alert you that it's not yet safe to cross the road and do not cross. Whether you break it with your foot or with a cane, it doesn't matter. It is going to help everyone. Even children, especially small children, not even like people who are physically impaired. Even small children, this is a system that will help them all. Number 5 was how could you tie your shoelaces without using hands? This is so simple. Number 1 thing is ask for help. Pretty sure there's someone out there who can help you. Just ask for help. But our innovative solutions was actually going with an invention that's not ours. It's called the laceless shoes. Yeah, like you just put in your shoe and it automatically adapts. It automatically adapts to your leg. So yes, I know someone out there like thought of that. Too bad. Number 6, how could you tell when you have poured enough water into a glass without looking? We became very creative and innovative with this one. Using a weighing mechanism that is preset to understand when a cup is full. My understanding of this is maybe in a school where they're like standard set cups. Like a cup when it's full is like 500 grams or 200 grams maybe. So what happens is when you put this cup on the table and then you start pouring, it will alert you when you reach 450 grams so that you know that I'm almost full. The cup is almost full, so I need to stop. Our next innovative solution was using auto dispensers. We all know what a dispenser is. If you don't, it's right over there, like behind at the counter. So what happens with a dispenser is you put in a cup and it senses the cup is there, and then it starts pouring water, right? So now in our sense and in our innovation, we decided that we can advance this dispenser, make it smarter. So that when you put in your cup, it senses the cup, because someone raised the question of, these are standard set cups. What if someone has an irregularly shaped cup or maybe a bottle? How do you know then, right? Here's the thing, this auto dispenser can actually sense what kind of bottle this is, what kind of bowl or whatever you're using, and how much water it actually needs to be filled completely. Now from then on, it can dispense the required amount of water without spilling a thing. Number 7 was how could you climb up a flight of stairs without using your legs? Okay, using accessibility features. We couldn't like come up with a simple and innovative way to solve this completely, like living on the ground floor or like asking for assistance. So we decided to just go with the simple accessibility features that are available to everyone. Maybe that house needs to have like a ramp or a belt, like those belts where you just sit on and like move up. Someone said like the one that Professor X uses in X-Men. So yeah, those were our solutions for that one. The next one was number 8. How could you warn someone of danger without making a sound? Maybe someone is has a hearing impairment, or someone is wearing like super huge headphones. So number 1, we go with using a light-based alarm system. Lights are like the most common way of alerting people of danger. It was actually used traditionally. When you light and smoke goes up, it's a visual alerting system, right? And even when drivers are on the road, like sometimes you see them like flick the light. It's a light-based alarm system. And our alarm system is based on the same way. Just take out your flashlight, like turn on the SOS mode, and they might see. Like if lights are flashing in front of your eyes and you don't know that means danger, well, but yeah, using a light-based alarm system. And the next one is a vibration-based alarm system. The vibration-based alarm system is simple. You can have either a special wristband or even your phone. Like all your phones have like vibrations capabilities. So like if I send you an alert using like a special app or something like that, it will send a vibration signal to your arm. And you know that it's like 7 vibrations mean I'm in danger and I need to look out. Same case with your phone, if it's in your pocket or with your wristband. That was our innovative idea. Number 10, as I conclude, how could you read a book without using your hands? I understand that you use your eyes to read or your hands. That is in the Braille system. So, but there's also the concept of flipping pages, right? What if you're not able to use your hand to flip a page? It's so simple. We go with voice commands. We decided that it's best to go with an audiobook. An audiobook is accessible to everyone. If you have a phone, that is. So we decided that voice commands to operate digital books. As someone raised an important mark that even in audiobooks, like you need to tap or flip the screen so that you can switch the pages, right? So here, you'll just be saying or issuing a voice command. Siri, turn the page. Siri, zoom in. Siri, do this and that. So voice commands to operate digital books and making sure that as we are aiming to make our countries more accessible to everyone, we also make sure that public libraries have digital copies of physical books so that everyone can be able to access these digital books. And then from here on, we can use our innovative idea to use voice control or voice commands to actually operate these audiobooks. And those were our innovative ideas. My name is Brian King, representing Group 2, not Group 1, Group number 2. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Brian. There's the group there that wants to present solution number 1 and 8. No.
Hi, how are you? My name is Mongi, and I'm representing Group 8, which we're also known as Lil Caskers. And so I'll be presenting a solution on question number 8, which asks, how could you warn someone of danger without making a sound? And for us, it's more of gestures. You would just point that the person is in danger, and so you would just show them gestures and they would know that they're in danger. And for number 9, how could you play a game of volleyball in the dark? We realized our friend from Group 2, Brian King, didn't answer that. But for us, what we thought is you have a special ball in which the ball is playing music. And so just the way you hear your parents walking in when you're doing something in your room, the person would actually hear ball coming towards him or her, and then now they would react by probably hitting the ball or juggling it in just the way they would want to play it. And then also had the last one, number 6. How could you tell when you have poured enough water into a glass without looking? You would have a pressure sensor in which, just the way we have like a pressure sensor in the tank, in which you know that if the tank is filled till a certain level, then the pump switches off. So you would have a sensor in a cup in which you would realize that, in which the pump will sense that the cup is filled to a certain level, and so the water will stop flowing. And so that's what we had from our group in group 8, which is also known as the Lil Caskers. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mwangi. I'll give it to this group.
Good morning, everyone. Is it morning? Good afternoon. We'll be representing for Group 3, and our name is, you can read it, I can't.
Our name is, okay, it's a German name for let's go ahead. It's Lass uns weitermachen.
Or Lass uns. I can't pronounce it, basically. So the number one question, the answer is, well, the question was, okay, so the question is, can you think of a creative solution to this? Oh, how could you know that someone is knocking at your door if you can't hear? So by connecting the doorbell to the phone, and like your phone can vibrate when the bell is rung. So it's just that simple.
Another question is, okay, the ninth question, how would someone play a game of volleyball in the dark? So according to like some researches, for example, like how the blind play volleyball, they instead of playing volleyball normally, they have a lower net, and they usually roll the ball on the floor, and the first, like, they identify where the ball is going by the sound it makes, because it has a special sound that it makes while rolling on the ball. Therefore, they're able to play.
So it's like basically playing volleyball, but not the normal volleyball, like you have to hit the ball, it goes up. It's like
Rolling.
Yeah, it's like rolling. The third question is, how could you read a book without using your hands? I think most of we have most of the same answers. We narrowed it down to audiobooks. Like, that's just a simple way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Group 3. That was a really good one about the volleyball. I think it was a cool one. So we're running out of time. Not all groups can present. I'm giving allowance for 2 groups, so it's going to be this group and that one. They came first. Then you're presenting only 3 solutions, 3 of your best.
Okay, so hi guys. Hi, we were all coming up with solutions to solve these questions. So I'll brainstorm to you the ideas that we had on question 1, 4, and 9. Okay, the first question is, how could you know that someone is knocking at your door if you can't hear? Yeah, my friend said that you can use lights, but as we say, it's still the same thing, but we can use the flickering lights, the ones that you install in each and every room or area that you are prone to be at. Like maybe if you're in the toilet, you can have the flicker, that word. Hey, those lights that zinawakawaka zikizima. Then Also, we also based it on those people who can't afford the money to pay the lights. So we said, what if we proposed for funding towards solar panels in their areas? If we propose these solar panels, they can have lighting, and that lighting will enable them to connect those flickering lights in their houses. Okay? Are we at par? So we have number 4. How could you know when to cross the road safely without being able to see? We all have heard about the walking stick, right? So you can use automate vibration on the walking stick in terms of distance. Like for example, let's say for someone who lives in Shags, when that person wants to cross the road, that person can place the stick on the ground and it will be able to vibrate. It's in a way that the person will be able to know that the car is 10 meters away, 5 meters away, like that. Because we can't all consider about the towns, you see. But if it is for the towns, you see the traffic lights. There's a way that traffic officer can be able to connect the walking stick to the traffic light so that you, maybe who is blind, can be able to know how far the car is or what time it's time to go, stop, and wait, right? Okay, the next question, number 9. How could you play a game of volleyball in the dark? We considered everyone, blind or not blind. Okay, so we said, mostly we based it on maybe if I'm the one who is playing it, I can use fluorescent paint on the ball. You see, like if the ball, I can use maybe green for the ball so that when it's in the dark, I can see the ball, everywhere that it bounces, it's green. And maybe on the floor, I can use the fluorescent paint still to paint certain patterns so that I can know the field for volleyball is reaching there, to here, to there, to here. And also we can have for the net also can have a different color. Are we at par? Have you gained something? Okay, my name is Immaculate Gitonga from Maima Hill Girls. Hope you had a good time.
Thank you, Christine. Wait, no, your name isn't Christine. What have you said your name is? Immaculate. Okay, thank you. So the other groups that haven't presented, you will present after lunch. But then there's this group that was to present. Then the rest will present after lunch.
Hi everyone, my name is Ria.
And my name is Salim.
And we're from group 4.
Skylight.
Yeah, so number 1, how could you know that someone's knocking on your door if you can't hear? So when someone knocks on your door, there's a sensor on the door and it'll send a signal to your watch and your watch will start vibrating, which can tell you that someone's at the door.
Yeah, and also we thought about people who see. So the door has sensors which activates lights, which are all over the room and the house. Yeah. Next, number 6. So how could you tell when you have poured enough water into a glass without looking?
So there's sensors on the glass, and when the water reaches a certain level, they'll start beeping, so you stop pouring water. And yeah.
Yeah, and also we had thought of
a sensor that's around the glass, the level where you want it. So when the water reaches that level, the sensor starts beeping or it lights up, you know? Yeah. So number 9, how could you play a game of volleyball in the dark?
You can put a bell inside the ball, and so when it comes next to you, the sound will get louder, and when it goes away from you, it'll get softer, and then you can hear.
Yeah, so we thought of the blind and those who can see. So for those who can see, we thought of putting a light or, you know, those glow sticks, maybe. So we could put it around the ball or put some light that comes through the ball so that you can see it dark. And for the blind, we also thought about the bell. So when you hit it, the bell rings, or when someone hits it, you know it's coming towards you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Any questions you have, please hold on to them. We'll answer them after lunch. You can write them down, not to forget, but then you'll ask everything after lunch. So I want to engage you right now on the micro:bit. I know you guys are wondering, oh, what is this we have on the table? Is it a bomb? Is it watching us? So this is a micro:bit. I hope all teams have one. It should come with a USB cable. Before we get into it, who's ever used a micro:bit before? Please keep your hands up, don't drop them. Okay, it's good now. So the micro:bit is an embedded device. By embedded, what we mean is it functions on its own. It has a couple of functions that it can achieve just as it is. It's an educational device, and it was created for educational purposes especially. We have a couple of projects that have been created on the micro:bit that are amazing to solve the different SDGs that we have. We had the sessions on SDGs on the first day. So the solutions we are coming up with, they should be in line with the SDGs. If you are keen enough, Esther was here talking about targets and indicators of the SDGs. When you're coming up with solutions for the problems and for the SDG you're trying to tackle, they should align with the targets and indicators of this specific SDG. Are we good? Guys, are we good? I need to know if you're at par. Do you want me to repeat something? Yo, why are you so down? We're almost going for lunch. I need you guys to tell me, are we okay or not? You've understood? So your problems, your solutions should be at par with the target and indicator of the SDG that you're solving. Good. If you've forgotten what the targets and indicators were, you can just refer to my team, but then that was something that was done by Esther on the first day. Okay, so what's design thinking? That's the first thing we are doing. Yesterday, Mr. Felix talked about the 3 Ps. So we've done problem. You guys have come up with different solutions on the brainstorming activity. I want you to think of one problem. Just pick one that you're going to use the microbit to solve. Just one. Even the solution that you've come up with, try and think if it can be accommodated by the microbit that we have. So design thinking is a non-linear iterative process that people use to understand users. You don't create a solution because you feel like. We create solutions for people. We create solutions for problems. So you don't just wake up one day and decide, I want to solve lack of shoes. You have to do research about it, understand your users, challenge assumptions, redefine the problems, then come up with a solution. It's not just a one-day thing. So we have the first stage, empathize. By empathize, that means understand your user. What does your user want? Your user needs food. You can't tell them go to hospital. You can't give them that as a solution. That doesn't make sense. Define, it means define the problem that you're trying to solve. Your user tells you a problem. You need to empathize with them, be keen, listen to them, understand them, then define the specific problem that they have. I can come and ramble to you about quite a lot, but the root of my problem is just one tiny thing. So you define that one tiny thing. Ideate. Ideate means think of ideas, like what you've done, the brainstorming activity. Prototype is where we are at now, using the different items that we have to create a solution. Then finally test. And then you can see the arrows go back and back and back because it's iterative. Iterative means it loops around and around and around. Okay, so we have the microbit. These are the parts of the microbit. You can unpack it from the packs if yours has a pack or something of the sort. And we have these parts here. These are LED lights. They come on when you connect it to the computer using your USB or using a battery. We have, these are 25 of them. We have two buttons, button A, button B. They can work together. You can have A and B together, like a screenshot. USB connector is up here. At the back, we have this symbol. This is a radio and Bluetooth antenna. It can connect to Bluetooth. We have, this is the processor. As I mentioned, it's an embedded system. It works on its own. It can do things. It's like its own computer, basically. That's why we have a processor here. This is a compass. This is an accelerometer. This means it knows matters to do with angles. Yes. Then these are what we call pins, P-I-N-S, pins. This is a battery socket. You can connect your battery here. Then this is the reset button. If you've put code inside your microbit and you feel like it's not the best, you can use the reset button to go to factory settings. So you can just analyze that for now. 5 minutes. Not here, using your microbits. 5 minutes to look at your microbeats, familiarize yourself with the parts. You can connect it to your laptops and see what happens if it comes on or not. If it makes a funny sound. Eyes on me. Eyes on me. We want to look at the Makey Makey now. It has a cool, fancy name. Makey Makey. The red box on your tables. Who's used a Makey Makey before? Please keep your hands up. Okay, that's good. Next slide, please. So guys, Stacy and your group, I'll give you punishments. A Makey Makey is an invention kit for beginners. It's a whole kit. It comes with a couple of things. Crocodile, alligator clips, and all those things involved. And it uses a circuit. By circuit, electric circuit, anything that can conduct electricity. We mean water, we mean your body, we mean anything solid that can conduct electricity, metallic, soda cans, metal rulers, not plastic. Some metals cannot work because they are not good conductors of electricity. So we're working with anything that can conduct electricity and make a complete circuit. It can work with the Makey Makeys. Next slide. So we have 7 alligator clips inside it, 6 connector wires. The back of the board looks like this. This is the front of the board. It has arrows, an up arrow, a down one, left, right. We have this part as well. It has a USB cable. You also connect it to your laptop. And it has a couple of instructions. I'm giving you 5 minutes to familiarize yourself with it. How many groups, when you connected your microbit to your laptop, it made a weird sound? Okay, these are the parts of the Makey Makey at the back. We have WASDFG. These stand for letters with the keyboard. Guys, please, eyes on me, Brian King. Eyes on me, everyone. Eyes on me, group 3. Then we have arrows here, and then these are other places we put connectors. We have the connector wires. They go here. Then this is how you know where everything goes. This is for the keyboard, USB connector, mouse, etc. Next slide, please. So this is how it works. Plug it into the computer, red light should turn on. Install drivers, do setup. Next. Yeah, so alligator clip into earth. Don't forget, when you're having an electric circuit, we need power and we need earth. So it will not work if you don't have earth. And we also need to ground. You need to ground your current as well. So if you connect it like this, you're grounded. Next slide, please. Yes, so we'll look into everything else later. I want you guys to break for lunch. When you come back, we'll look into one activity into the microbit, how to use it, and another one into the Makey Makey. Then you come up with ideas on how to solve the 2 hackathon challenges that we have using the technologies we've given you. The tough team goes first. Now. Settle down, everyone. I want everyone seated. Okay, so who's heard of Scratch before? Scratch. Scratch the pretty cat. Who's used Scratch before? Okay. So I want anyone with laptops to open scratch.mit.edu. I hope everyone has internet access. I'll do a quick introduction into Scratch for the people who are using Scratch for the first time. But I've realized your teams have guys who've used Scratch before, so they can guide you through the complex things. But I'll do a quick introduction into Scratch. So Scratch is a programming language that we use to do different activities: gaming, animations, presentations, storytelling, all those activities. It's very beautiful. It has quite a lot of colors. I love it because it's just pretty. I love bright colors. Apart from that, it's very interactive. Unlike other programming languages, high-level languages that we have, Scratch is very easy to use because we use blocks. It's called block programming, and that's easier than the other languages like Python and JavaScript, etc. So these are the parts of Scratch. When you open the Scratch platform, when you go to create, if you've gone to the homepage of Scratch, there's somewhere on the toolbar, you can click on create and it will take you to such a space. We have this whole line. This is what we call the block palette, and it has different kinds of blocks. So we have motion blocks, which, as it says, motion. We have looks. It considers matters to do with looks of whatever you're doing. We have sound. The sound block is for sound. Then we have events. The events block trigger an event to happen. We have control. They control the whole block of code. We have sensing. It senses the surroundings like a sensor. We have variables. These can change, they store data, a certain kind of data. We have which one is the last one there? The orange one. That's not right. Okay, yeah, we have variables. The green one is operators. Then finally, we have my blocks. You can create your block that is separate from what we have. So you can see the blocks have different colors. There's the pretty one that is purple. Then we have the prettiest one that is pink. And we have the most pretty one that is yellow. And the others fall in place. This is the stage area. When we're talking about a play, people do everything on the stage. That's where action happens. So this is the stage area where action happens. This part. This part is where your script goes. That means you drag your blocks from here to here. And your blocks will do a specific activity depending on how you organize them. Then this is something we call a sprite. A sprite is what takes in the code that you put in. So if you want to create motion, and then you move this block here, click on the block, this is going to move. We have this part. This has more sprites down here. There are quite a number of sprites. This is a backdrop. When people are doing performances on a stage, they get different backdrops depending on what they are doing. Christmas, Valentine's, whatever. So we have backdrops. You get them here. You place them here. To delete a sprite, you click on this bin here. To remove a piece of code, drag it out of the space. Okay, so let's do a quick activity. Inside your script area, I want you to drag and drop an events block that has, when green flag is clicked, it has a green flag. Yes, I don't care about what you're doing. I want you to do what I've told you to do. Please do what I have told you to do and not open projects that you've done before. I know you've done Scratch before, but then that's not the essence as to why we're doing this session right now. once you move in your block, I want you to connect it to the move 10 steps block just right under it. As you can see, the when green flag is clicked block, it has something going out of it. So that is where the blue block goes into, because it starts with a dent at the bottom, at the top. Once you've done that, I want you to click on this green flag and see what happens to your sprite. Okay, so once you've done that, let's make it a bit more interesting. Let's pick a looks block. So you can click on looks. Then we can do switch costume to costume 2. Then click on the green flag again, see what happens. Guys, please remember collaborative learning. Accommodate the others who don't have laptops. Accommodate people who haven't coded before. Assist your group mates. If you've learned Scratch before, assist your group mates. Let's make it a bit more interesting once again. Let's click on a sensing block. No, just wait. Let's click on a control block. There we can pick an if-then block. So the if-then block, it's a looping block. And what it does is it checks if the condition that is put inside here has been satisfied, then it performs a certain action. If the condition inside here has been satisfied, it performs a certain action. So inside here, I want you to place a sensing block. And let's put touching mouse pointer. Just put it inside the shape. The best thing about Scratch is, once again, how it looks. It's so beautiful and it's so easy for you to follow through because of the shapes. If you see the shape that was inside here, that definitely means you can't put an events block. It means something else falls inside here. That definitely means you can't put this block return answer because it's not the same shape as what was here. Inside the if block, inside here, the action we're going to put is Looks, let's go to looks block, where we can say hello for 2 seconds. So we've introduced this sensing block. By this, what we mean is if this sprite touches the mouse pointer, it's supposed to say hello for 2 seconds. That's what it means. When you click the green flag, that is what is here. It's the events block. It initiates all this to happen. So when you click the green flag, if that sprite is touching the mouse pointer, it will say hello for 2 seconds. Have I made sense? Have I made sense, guys? Okay, so I'm giving you 2 minutes to try that out. Once again, collaborative learning, accommodate your peers. Try placing your mouse pointer on the sprite and see what happens. Okay, guys, so most of you, you'll realize the code won't do anything when you put your mouse pointer on the cut. That is okay. So I want you to realize there are very different solutions to code. There is no one way out of a problem. There's a different way for me to solve this, and there's a different way for you guys to solve it as well. That's the beauty about code. If you decide to work together as a team, you get different ideas on how to troubleshoot the problems that you have. So do not rely on what your educator tells you. They are not always right. I'm an educator and I know that. Anyway, to fix this, you can either do if touching, you can click on the drop down and do if touching edge. So when the scratch cut gets to the end of the screen, it's going to say hello for 2 seconds. That means you click the green flag a couple of times so that it gets to the end of the screen. Or you can add a forever block, which is under control, to make this code run forever. That means forever, literally. When it gets to the edge, that's going to happen. When you leave it at mouse pointer, that's going to happen as well. Anyway, that's not why we're here. When you have Scratch, you can also place the wait 1 second block, which is under control, just before the if then, and it's also going to work. So at the bottom left of your screen, where we have the block palette, there's a blue button with a plus sign. At the bottom left, this one here. Just click on it. It's going to give you a couple of extensions, such as the microbit and the makey makey. Click on the microbit one. So you can see it's telling you, make sure you have Scratch Link installed and running, and check that Bluetooth is enabled. So you have to go to your Play Store, Microsoft Play Store for Microsoft users, for Windows users. For Mac users, I guess Scratch Link is available online. You don't have to go to the App Store. I'm not quite sure. Scratch Link. So make sure you have Scratch Link installed. For Windows users, go to the Play Store and get it from there. Get Scratch Link installed. You all have a microbit in your group, so you need to work together. Pardon? Guys, is there anyone who's had success getting Scratch Link? Apart from the two of you. My team is here to guide you. So we can go back to Scratch, back to the extensions again. We now click the Makey. So you can see the blocks with the Makey. We have when space key pressed, when left up, right pressed in order, and so on and so forth. The best part about the Makey, you don't necessarily have to use these blocks. The best part about it is if you want your sprite to move to the front, all you have to do is connect your Makey in the right order. So let me just demonstrate that with one. So this is your Makey. And it has those arrows, the up one, the down one, side arrows. We have space and click right here. So if you want to move up using your Makey, you have to complete a circuit. Connect your alligator clips here, then complete the circuit. So it's either you earth it with your body or ground it with your body or something else, then connect it to a conductor of electricity using the other end of the alligator clip, and the circuit is completed. If you want to move down, the same thing. That's what happens throughout. So this is what you guys are going to use for your hackathon. You have two challenges. Challenge one is, I don't know it. Let me just check. There's at least one person in every team who's used either a Makey or a microbit. So choose in your teams what you're going to use. That's why I asked you to find out your strengths and weaknesses in the team. So figure out, is the Makey the best for your team? Is the microbit the best for your team? The second one, create a solution, device, app, or artwork that advocates for environmental sustainability and of planetary action. Those are the two problems that we have. Please note, we are not looking for the final solution. That doesn't mean don't come up with a solution, please. We want to see something that is tangible as well. But then that is not what we are marking. We are marking your idea. Does your idea make sense? Is it realistic? Is it something that can be applied within the real world? Is it something that makes sense to a normal person? By that I mean someone who hasn't gone to school, someone who is not privileged in any way. The other thing is it something that is cost effective? Something that is not expensive to use? So what we want especially is the idea. How you implement it on Scratch doesn't have to be that much looked into, but the idea is what matters. So take as much time as you can with the idea, but that doesn't mean you don't code. That doesn't mean you don't code. If you come up with an interactive device using your microbit in the end that is doing what is supposed to be solved with the hackathon topics, good for you. If it doesn't completely solve everything, it's still okay. But then we still need to see that you did understand how to use the microbit, you still did understand how to use Scratch, you still understood how to use Makey. I hope I've made myself clear. In case of any questions, my team is here. You have mentors. Your teammates are also there who've used the devices before. So you pick one topic. You don't have to do both of them. Just one topic. Brainstorm as a team and come up with solutions. Next slide, please. All eyes on me, guys. Group 3, please. Group 3, I need you here. So this is the judging criteria. Comprehensibility means we can see the use case of your idea. Does it flow? Does it make sense? Realizability is from its current stage to the solution, how you got there. That is problem solving, coming up with a problem and coming up with a solution. How did you do that? We want to see that happening. Innovativeness, how applicable is it and how cool is it? When you're doing your brainstorming activity, some of you came up with very, very cool ideas for the different problems that you are having. That's the same thing we want to see. Scalability, if it can be implemented in the real world. And finally, solving the SDGs. That's SDG 4 and 13. Next slide, please. Anyone is required to participate. 5 students at least must participate. You must have a team captain, and you're going to be the primary contact for the hackathon. And you guys will have 2 hours to complete this. So even as you're going home, you have to make sure that you've been given your roles and you know what you're going to do as you're leaving. So your slides, you need to create slides. Some of you have technical expertise beyond what we've done. So we expect you to create PowerPoint slides, a deck with 5 slides only, with a font size of at least 30 and 2 font colors of your choosing, not more than 2. You guys will be disqualified if you don't follow these instructions. Slide 1 should contain the product and the team. So the team name, come up with a name for your product. Slide 2 should have the team headshots. You can ask your educators to assist with taking headshots for your teams. Slide 3, define the problem your innovation is focusing on. Slide 4 should have the solution. And the last slide should have your business plan, how you're planning on maximizing your solution in the real world. how you're planning on earning money, how you're planning on selling it out, and everything. All these slides that I've mentioned should be just one single statement, not more than one statement. I don't want to see full stops and another statement starting, just one statement. Just one statement. Apart from that, we'll give you guys manila papers. We know some of you like being very creative. So if you feel like your technical expertise in your team can't be fully maximized, use the manila papers to show off your skills. So we'll be giving you manila papers and markers to do the same. Yes, so you guys can start hacking. All the best. I'll be sharing with you the link to our certain file to help you out with the microbit with some instructions just in a few seconds.